Usher, he like when he has his concerts, he's feeding the ladies cherries. He's giving them cherries. He's feeding them cherries. So let me ask you: would if you go to an Usher concert and he comes to your wife with
To my wife.
to feed her cherry, what would be your reaction and what would you do?
I wouldn't react.
So would you allow him to feed her the cherry?
I'm not gonna react.
But no, I know that, but would you allow him to feed her
How
the
how
cherry?
would how would I allow him or not? He's doing it.
So this morning, I had a weird dream. Like, guess.
You had a dream.
Yeah, I had a really good dream this morning. Guess,
Yo, bro, what were you doing in your dream?
bro. I dreamt that I won $1 million from the lottery, and I was like to myself, what would I do if I really won $1 million? Tell me, what would you do if you won $1 million in this day and time?
Bro, it's a lot to think about. Because I believe the moment your hand get hold of money,
Yeah.
especially huge amount of money, your brain doesn't think straight.
Exactly.
If you ever have that feeling, maybe you can relate to that. Because it's like if you have in excess, you don't think logically straight, so you
That's
can
true. That's true.
get important things done.
But what do you think
But
would be the first thing to come to your mind?
to be fair, to be honest, I'll just take my time.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like
Fair.
take time to re-examine everything because you need to prioritize things that matters. Pressing needs now.
True.
Take care of them, and then you figure out the rest.
Right.
Yeah.
Me personally, if I won $1 million, I would first I would pay off all whatever debt I have,
Yeah, which is
my
fine.
mom has, like whatever debt my wife, my mom.
So it's more like buy your freedom back.
Yeah.
I taking yourself out of
debt
debt.
free, everything.
Yeah.
Every single thing,
And you start owning stuff.
yeah. But
Yeah.
then me personally, like after getting rid of whatever debt is there, then you start thinking of ways to multiply that, because if you just have it there, I mean, bro, $1 million is a lot, but then
It's a lot, but
if
you can
it can go
spend it. Yeah,
if you're not careful.
you can spend.
Yeah. So like I would do that, and then I would start thinking of ways to because I want assets.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you get big money like that, like you won a lottery, to go smart about it, take your time. Just live as if you never got any money from anywhere. In that way, you're gonna think appropriately. Think about the most important things.
Yep.
What is actually bothering you, or is a hassle for you at that moment? Your problem. You need to tackle the problem first. So you mentioned about clearing your debt, especially family debt as well, so you can live debt free.
Exactly.
Which is really, really important.
Yeah, because when you clear those, then whatever you've been paying, that same money that you've been paying there, you can probably save it
or reinvest it, or
Exactly.
put it into something else that can yield more.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which is totally fair. Yeah.
And then you start thinking about ways to invest your money that would bring more money. And then obviously you gotta spend a little on yourself, Probably
Well,
probably get some clothes, some shoes, some jewelry. But
are you a shoe type?
yeah, bro. Bro, I have yeah. I would probably do those stuff but in a moderate way.
Yeah.
Exactly, because I'm not gonna I won't spend. I'll probably spend like $3 the most on shoes, and then a $3 on clothes, and then probably for $5 on some jewelry.
What?
But
$5,000?
$5 on jewelry, bro. It's $1 million, you know. So yeah,
Nah.
I'm just saying, like, by the time you've paid off your bills, probably left with about um 900 and probably $70,000.
It still boils down to personal preferences or things that you prioritize in life.
Yeah.
Personally, I need to draw a plan. I need to draw my what do you call it? You call it it's an economic words, a scale of preference.
Right.
I remember that was from my economic classes. So it's good to have a scale of preference.
Yeah.
The scale of preference is going to comprise your most pressing needs.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, if I get hold of that 1 million, my most pressing needs, clear debt, the little debt I have,
Exactly.
that should be the first thing to do. Secondly, I need to make sure I put enough aside.
Exactly. If you have children as well.
I need to make sure I put enough aside, and then use a portion of it in acquiring asset, because that's the way.
Yeah, assets. Buying lands,
A land, or a house,
house.
for rentals or whatever.
Exactly.
I need to use portion of it into an asset, so that money could multiply.
How much would you say you would use for, like, to acquire assets?
It depends on what I want to achieve. It
Okay.
depends on what I'm actually
Because
projecting.
remember, £1 million, that's doubling Ghana. You know, that's that's
Eventually, back home, I'll make sure I acquire enough.
bro. I would buy lands. I would buy a lot of lands, because land never depreciates. You know.
It does not, but I need to still have to be really smart about it.
Yeah. Depends on.
You don't want to put all your money into buying
But then
assets.
it depends on the location of the land as well. A lot of things comes into play when you're buying land.
Yeah, I think that's a very interesting topic to discuss. Yeah. But when it comes to prioritize things that I need to do on my scale of preferences, paying my debt, putting enough aside as, emergency fund.
Yeah.
Because anything can happen.
Oh, therefore, bro, you're on it.
Yeah.
Like, you literally have to sit down and make a budget for that 1 million.
It's really, really important.
Yeah.
If you don't make budget, you're gonna spend and you don't know where the money is going to.
But if you check the history, if you check the history of like singers, movie stars, footballers in America, when they first get their first million, the first thing they do is run. They get a crib, a house. They go and get cars, they get jewelries, they get clothes, and then they forget about the IRS that is coming for tax and all that.
Yeah, that's one thing.
Yeah. But what I'm telling you, these days you have to educate yourself. Like,
yeah, you've got to. Information is there.
Knowledge is key. You know, knowledge is key. Like, I know.
If you are informed, you cannot be duped easily. You know where you're going. You know what you want, and nobody's gonna fool you. So it's really, really important to invest in knowing more. You can't know everything in this world.
True.
You keep learning, but
That's true.
It's a gradual progress.
So $1 million, you pay your debts, assets,
emergency funds, really, really important.
Yeah, a little bit of spending money.
Eventually, you've got to spend something.
Well, it's a part of the budget. So
it's part of the budget,
And then you gotta put away savings as well.
It's part of your emergency fund, because you're saving. It's something that's not going really.
I feel like
now.
Emergency fund should be separated from your savings. Like what your savings should just be like there.
Yeah.
And then emergency, because remember, emergency fund is like for if there's something that you need to plug out money for.
Which I understand.
Yeah.
But I'm not a financial expert. But
Well,
I'll call everything savings.
yeah, but for me, this I wouldn't put my emergency fund with my savings because then, bro, you know how much time emergency happen at, like stuff that you need to you just need to plug up money for. That's come like you're putting in, but you're pulling. So it's like you're digging a hole to fill the next hole. That's just how I feel about it.
Yeah, but look at it. This is a lump sum of money. It's not something you're working for.
That's
so
true.
You just putting everything there
But
whilst
what-
you're thinking about how to use that money.
But then putting that money in like say okay the emergency funds, it's just gonna be rest. You can't just rest it in the bank and it's not it's not
Yielding
earning.
any? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you need like a proper guidance, like financial knowledge, which is it's broad, and it's so deep. But eventually, you're gonna need someone who is
Yeah.
knowledgeable at some point to help you, use that fund, that lump sum of money wisely, so
That's
you can
true.
multiply it over time. Because multiplication is the key to success. If you can multiply the little resources you have to satisfy your unlimited wants and your needs, it's going to be difficult,
Yeah.
very difficult. That's why also contentment plays a really big key, role in the equation. Because if you're content with your simple life, it means you're going to have a lot aside, you're not spending.
Yeah.
So it's like you minimizing your spending, nature, spending around you.
Yeah.
And then you maximizing your savings and multiplying your investment or multiplying whatever you have as money or cash in your saving pot.
Yeah.
So that's going to contribute to your, success in
Yeah, that's
terms
true.
of finance, wealth, and all
That's
kind of
true.
money.
That's one way of thinking about it.
Yeah,
I
that's it.
believe like 50% would think like that. 50% would just waste it and enjoy it with their friends and like give handouts and what's not, and then
Yeah,
you might be surprised, bro. 1 million can done like 1 million can done in like a week, depending on how wicked you are to yourself. Yeah, bro, I'm telling you.
It depends. But nowadays, I don't think any sensible person will just win a lottery, like get that lump sum of money and then start spending like
You
crazy.
might be surprised. You might be surprised.
Unless that person is living like there is no tomorrow.
Yeah, you might be surprised how many people live like that, like feast today, famine tomorrow. You ever heard that saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's bad.
Yeah, it's very, very, very bad.
Even though nobody knows what tomorrow holds.
Yeah.
But you still need to make provision. You still need to plan ahead.
Yeah,
For the rainy days, as they say, you don't know how it's going to be like.
that's true.
Really?
Speaking of that, what do you think about the people making TikTok a 9 to 5 job now?
I think TikTok now is the way.
Bro. TikTok is trending, like I've been following it and I've seen like I've witnessed it for myself, like people would literally get up like early as 6 in the morning and they would go live and then they probably take a break for lunch and then come back and then they would go until about 1-2 in the morning and I was like surprised, and like they're making like 20,000 coins like every back. Look how they're playing games.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot, bro. So imagine doing about 10-15 games a day. 10-15 to 20 games a day and getting about 20 to close to 50,000 coins. That's loads of money,
Yeah. Talking about the coins, I'm not really sure how much they are worth.
Like it depends. Like there's like okay, like the rose is what 1 coin, and if you send like a lion is like probably 1 coin. Rose is 1 coin, which would equivalent to about some pence.
Okay.
And like if someone sends you a line that's roaring, that's like close to 400 quid. So imagine getting those kind of gifts. Bro, like I'm telling you, like technology is so advanced now, bro. Like it's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think personally, even though everything is accessible, especially technology,
Yeah.
social media, and stuff like that, we still need to play smart. You know, it's good to leverage on those platforms
Yeah.
to make positive influence in any way possible. And talking about relying solely on TikTok to
Yeah.
make it can be tricky because you can't rely on TikTok
That's
to
true.
make it all. You really need to get your daily job or your daily activity you do.
Right.
So you mentioned about doing something you passionate or you love doing, which is good. You can be passionate about doing TikTok,
Yeah.
but I'm telling you, you're gonna burn out
Like
because
most definitely.
imagine you waking up late in the night, or for all purpose of being connected with people talking about stuff, just going on live every day. Eventually, you're gonna burn
Mate,
out. You can't do that forever.
your eyes are gonna hurt. Yeah, bro. There's so much
Yeah,
stuff into
that's
it.
why it's really good to be smart about it.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean,
Yeah.
if it's making you money, then what?
Yeah, the end goal is to make an income.
Yeah.
Yeah, make more and then save. Support, give back to community or something like that.
Yeah. I'm telling, like, if I was doing that and I was making money, like say I was making like 5 grand a day, like I would be
Is
I would
someone making 5 grand a
bro,
day in the UK?
like I've watched this live. There's this content creator by the name of Damien, and the man was playing this game with this other content creator as well. And bro, the man had about a million coins and counting. He surpassed the next player, and that's like 10,000 Eastern Caribbean dollars, So he made that in one night.
I see.
And then they played again about a couple of times, and he did that again. So that I'm telling you, there's people making loads of money on it, and they're living good. They're able to start their business, but again, it's the mindset. What you're gonna do with it? You're gonna flash with it, spend it, or you're gonna live like this tomorrow, or you're gonna save it because for me personally, if you're doing those kind of games, stuff like playing going live and playing games, the aim is to be rich, not rich, but not just rich for now, but rich for forever. So like you should be stuck in those kind of money, investing, madam. At the end of the day,
Yeah, definitely. Those
it's their choice.
I think those who are making it big in those social media platforms, I'm pretty sure they having a plan B.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure they not just living for the fame or
Yeah.
just for the name of it. You can tell, and it's okay because we cannot as a creator, content creator, you can reveal every secret about yourself on the
Yeah.
internet or on the social media platforms.
That's true.
They could only show you one side of it, but the actual bit that goes into it is unknown to us, like you as
Yeah.
the audience. So, well, I encourage anybody who's into
Yeah.
doing something really, really good when it comes to social media and stuff like that. I think it's the future.
Yeah.
It's the future, and there's no way it's gonna, change anytime soon.
Yeah. I think
So
like
just leverage it, use it to your
Yeah,
benefit.
I think
to
like
get you where you want to get to.
I think content creator, if you're good at it, and if you're thinking about doing it as in like a job, then by all means do it. As long as you can get monetized, there's no stopping you. I'm telling you.
Yeah, question is, what if it happens? You a TikToker,
Yeah.
you're doing TikTok, you're making it big, you're making money, you know. You quit your job, you're doing everything, TikTok like full time. What if it happens, TikTok is shut down for one
Well,
reason or the
apparently
other?
it was going to be shut anyway. So like, I mean, there's different countries that
With restrictions?
like there's different. It's open to loads of countries. So like, if for instance, like, oh, America was gonna close, I think they're gonna close it still. I'm not sure, but I heard that if you live in America, in the USA, and they're gonna ban it, you can just sign up in a different country, let someone sign up for you and then use it and still go live. So
Yeah, well,
there's always a loophole, brother.
there is always a way,
Always a
but
loophole.
I'm thinking about it in a much more broader way.
Yeah.
It's like you cannot rely on that TikTok alone, you know, to make your life out of it.
Well, there's that. I mean, there's so much stuff, bro. You might like you. So, do you think like people can get like make millions of money off of TikTok?
I believe people are making money out of it, but putting everything into it,
That's true.
and
You have to have
thinking
a
that
plan, as you said, a plan B.
you always need to have a plan.
Yeah.
Because what if it gets shut?
Yeah,
How are you gonna live your life? How are you gonna survive? How are you gonna do it?
that's true.
So, well, I'm not in their head. I'm pretty sure they all have their own plans. But
Yeah,
that's
most of
how
them, most of them.
I'm seeing it.
Yeah. There's this video circulating. I just want you to watch it and tell me what you think about it.
What's happening?
So, Usher, he like when he has his concerts, he's feeding the ladies cherries. He's giving them cherries.
Was it recently?
Yeah, bro. He's
Or
feeding
when he
them.
came to the UK?
UK, wherever he goes, he's doing it. Like, look at this one. He's feeding them cherries. So let me ask you: if you go to an Usher concert and he comes to your wife with
To my wife.
to feed her cherry, what would be your reaction and what would you do?
Well, my father has been always saying this growing up. It's like if you're a man, you need to control your emotions.
True.
And know how to show your man, your power.
Fair.
Establish your authority.
Yeah.
I wouldn't react.
So would you allow him to feed her the cherry?
I'm not gonna react.
But no, I know that. But would you allow him to feed her the cherry?
How would I allow him or not? He's doing it.
No, but so you're gonna allow him?
No, he's doing it. So you're expecting me
So
to shut him off?
No. Me personally, I won't allow it. I would take the cherry from him, and I would say, "You sing," and I would feed my wife.
Yeah, it's a good way to think about it. It's a good way to think about it.
But I'm not gonna lash out. I'm not gonna lash out because obviously I'm gonna get the shitty end of it.
At the end of the day, you're gonna look back if you let your emotion, if you let your emotion come over you because, like, Usher is feeding your partner. Nah, if you let your emotion
Yeah, but
take over,
so you're telling me you're gonna let him feed her the cherry? Nah, brother. Nah, bro.
what are you gonna do? That's the question.
Have you seen that man?
Yeah, but what are you gonna
Nah,
do? You see the video. You see that lady.
Yeah.
Literally, when you look at her closely, she has no man in her life. She's not committed in nothing. She looks like a and if you are that kind of person, you don't.
So
give a
okay,
fuck.
let me ask you. So imagine.
But a wife,
Yeah,
a responsible woman
Yeah.
in a relationship
Yeah.
who respect his man, letting that kind of sin happen before his man. First of all, if that happens, it means that woman never respected you before.
That's
It does not consider
Yeah,
you.
because there's a level
And,
of respect there.
I'm just gonna observe and then learn from it. If I say learn from it means if she allows it, that's the end of everything because she's not gonna respect you
So
tomorrow. That's
that
it.
half him feeding her that cherry, you're gonna allow it, and then if she allows him to do that and seduce her.
If
That's the end of everything.
That's it. If she respects you, she values the relationship.
That's true.
She won't allow it.
Yeah, fair. I do understand.
She could say, nah, I can't allow it. Only my husband is allowed to feed me.
That's true.
To make a point, to make it blunt, I don't have to use my emotion to draw attention on me. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Starting to bash Usher in there.
At the end of the day, it all leads down to her and where she stands in the relationship and what's that. Yeah,
exactly.
But me personally, I'll probably take it from him and said, I would feed my wife. And then you sing.
Yeah, it's okay. It's really good.
You can ask. But then that's one way of dealing with it, and then there's your way, and then there's the lashing out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it literally we have three kind of people.
There's three kind of people in this place. The one that would take it from him and say, I would feed my wife, and then there's you who would watch to see what she would do, and then there's the one that's gonna throw the punch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anything can happen. You know? But I believe as a man, you need to know where to establish your authority.
knowing those kind of things that happen, would you allow your wife to go to those kind of concerts?
Allowing wife to go, I don't mind.
Yeah, me neither. But I'll probably say, don't sit where he can't come to you. Probably
He's joking.
Yeah, sit in the back up there. Sit in the back up there. Where don't come too close. Like
He's joking. Every woman would love to be at the front, so they can, have a close interaction.
Boy, you imagine watching YouTube or something or social media and seeing that. Jesus Christ, your heart is gonna be in your hand. It's like someone took your heart out and just ripped it out.
Well, the thing is, I've got to a stage in life where, well, it's gonna take a lot to put me in that state where I'll start bashing, or cursing just like that now. I'm gonna take my cool observe and then take action. I need to be smart about everything.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you might end up being the bad man.
Well, obviously you're gonna get the shitty, and everyone is gonna bash you and laugh after you. So you have to be very smart. Yeah.
You need to be.
Oh boy, yeah.
We
you
live
have to
in a
be
country.
so wise in this world.
Yeah. You live in a country where women are so valued. Yeah, because they are also really, really important in the society.
Exactly.
Even if there is something going wrong, you're not allowed to,
That's true.
go hardcore. If I say hardcore, you get what I mean. Yeah. You at the end of the day, you are adults, and you've got to talk it out, responsibly, and then figure it out.
Yeah,
that's it.
All right, so we'll see you back on the next episode of Joint Insights Unfiltered.
Yeah, raw.
Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Peace.
Ciao.
Yeah.